I could not understand how can you win a championship fight by running. Well, he's the challenger and I'm the champion. How can you take a title away from a champion like that on a one-point system? It's not like that. But behind being Sugar Ray Leonard, he know I whooped him. He told me himself, he says, hey, you beat me, babe. And one thing that I found out from that night, that no matter what you do, no matter what these people do, they cannot take out of here. You can take away my belt, you can take away the victory from me, but you cannot take what I have in here, knowing that I whooped this man.
Ray, by the way, mentioned something about the second fight. Now,
You mentioned about the third. I heard about the first, second. Now talking about the third fight.
No, I told the guys on air, I told also Emmanuel, I said that in the second fight that we had, the war, I think it's called the war, you beat me. You beat me, Tommy.
Leonard, 144. Duran, 145. Le nouveau champion du monde.
Ray Leonard knew Roberto's reputation of after a fight, he's just going to go party.
He was on top of the world. He was the king. He went out and started doing what he does when he's not fighting, partying.
So Ray demanded that the rematch be in 6 weeks. Duran is in New York just partying it up for like 3 weeks, and he was close to 200 pounds.
Duran is not as aggressive as he was in the first fight.
Because if you look at the first fight, look at his body, and then look at the second fight, it's two different people. Roberto said, Ray knew this. It was a smart tactic.
Duran has quit! Roberto Duran has quit!
Now, the reason why I played that highlight is to show you guys the hypocrisy when it comes to boxing, right? Now you got Sugar Ray Leonard that has 40 fights, 36 wins, 25 wins by knockouts, 3 losses. He got knocked out one time, and he has a draw on his resume. He's a 5-division champion that won a belt at the welterweight division, the junior middleweight division, the super middleweight division, and the light heavyweight division. Then you have Terence Bud Crawford, 41 wins, 31 win by knockout, has no losses on his resume, never got knocked out, never had a draw, never had a split decision, never had a majority decision, never had a controversial decision in his career. Now, Terence Bud Crawford is a 4-division champion. He won the belt at 135, 140, and 147, and 154. Now, a lot of people are saying that Sugar Ray Leonard is more legendary than Terence Bud Crawford, which it doesn't make sense at all. Because when you're comparing two guys from different generation, you got to look at what they did in their generation and who was more dominant in their generation. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard was one of the 4 greatest fighters of his generation, right? And they were called the 4 Kings, which included Sugar Ray Leonard himself, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, and Roberto Duran. Now, we've all witnessed in the clip, you see Sugar Ray Leonard, he lost to Roberto Duran, and he also beat Roberto Duran twice, right? He knocked out Thomas Hearns, and he also lost to Thomas Hearns, but got gifted a split decision. That didn't come from my mouth. It came from Sugar Ray Leonard's mouth. Sugar Ray Leonard admitted to Thomas Hearns on air, as you guys seen in the first clip, that admitted to Thomas Hearns that he lost to him. You understand? And then he faced off against Marvin Hagler, which he got gifted a split decision. Now, the reason why I said he got gifted a split decision, because Marvin Hagler himself came out and said that Sugar Ray Leonard said to him that you beat me after their fight. So when you talk about who was more dominant in their generation, Sugar Ray Leonard, he lost to all his top competitors. I give him credit for beating guys like Wilfred Benitez and Floyd Mayweather Sr., but that just doesn't make you more legendary than a guy like Terence Bud Crawford. Now, Terence Bud Crawford, his 4 king will be Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Errol Spence Jr. I would like to group in Keith Thurman in there, but Keith Thurman never faced off against Terence Bud Crawford because Keith Thurman was afraid of Terence Bud Crawford. But Terence Crawford, unlike Sugar Ray Leonard, he never lost to none of his competitors. But Matter of fact, Terrence Crawford knocked out every single welterweight in the division, including all his top competitors. Terrence Crawford competitors never seen 12 rounds with him in the most prestigious division, the welterweight division, which he stopped everybody. Like I stated before, he didn't have a split decision, a majority decision, a controversial decision, because he stopped every single welterweight. Every single last one of them. Not only that, Terrence Crawford cleared out 140 pounds. He beat the best competition at 140 pounds in Victor Postol. Dominated him, dropped him 3 times. So in Terrence Bud Crawford's generation, he is the greatest fighter of his generation. When it comes to a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard, it's debatable. You could say that it's Roberto Duran, or you could say that it's Thomas Hearns, or you could say that it's Marvin Hagler. When it comes to Terrence Bud Crawford, in his generation, he's undoubtedly the greatest fighter of his generation. He didn't have no losses. He don't have no controversial decision. He doesn't have a split decision, a majority decision. And he had knocked out 11 of his 12 opponents. Like I continue to say, I just got to be real. It's extremely hard to compare these guys because they're in different generation. You can't say that Sugar Ray Leonard faced off against a better opponent because you don't know that. They're in 2 different generations, and these guys is greater than Sugar Ray Leonard. Y'all could do the politics and talk about resumes. That varies. It varies. That varies because they're in 2 different generations. So you can't say that, Wilfred Benitez will beat Sean Porter. You can't say that Marvin Hagler will beat Errol. You don't know that. They never fought. You could always say it, but you don't know because they never fought. But what we can say is Terrence Crawford was more dominant in his generation than Sugar Ray Leonard. So how do you rate Sugar Ray Leonard higher than Terrence Crawford? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's just being biased. And who y'all like is who y'all going to cheer for and who y'all going to choose. But when it comes to the all-time great list, Terrence Crawford should be top 5. If he's not top 5, then Sugar Ray Leonard shouldn't be top 5. Definitely not Roberto Duran. Definitely not him. You understand? So I just want to know what y'all think about this. But this is a message to the younger guys that's coming up in boxing and want to know more about boxing. Do not listen to content creators. Don't even listen to me. Do your own research so you can make your own observation, so you can make your own judgment, so you could decide for yourself who you believe was greater and what you think about boxing. Don't make other people put what they think about boxing in your mind because you're never gonna know the truth. If you want to know the truth, do your research, bro. Because boxing is a hateful sport, and whenever they don't like a fighter, they will try to put them down and try to hide the accolades because it's never been spoke about that Terrence Crawford moves up every single week and face off for a belt and either stop his opponent or unanimously beat his opponent. It's never been emphasized that Terrence Crawford is the only fighter I know that stopped every fighter in the welterweight division. It's never been emphasized. It's never been emphasized that he's the first undisputed champion in 2 different weight divisions in the 4-belt era. Those stuff has never been emphasized. Those stuff are legendary. Those stuff are all time. You understand? And he's undefeated with no draws, no split decisions, no majority decisions. Those stuff are not being emphasized. Those stuff are legendary. You understand? But for some way, somehow, he doesn't crack top 5. And he's doing stuff that none of these guys' favorite boxers are doing. You understand? So it's up to y'all if y'all want to know the truth about boxing. Do not sit in here and listen to these YouTube channel, including myself. You feel me? Because I can be biased, and I admit I can be biased, but I do my research, and everything that I say is facts, not an opinion. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share this video if y'all enjoyed this content. Y'all know my slogan, continue to pray to God and repent for your sins, and I'm out.